Anyway, welcome to the Effortless English Show. Sorry about that. I was trying to play our new introduction song, our introductory song by Charlie Busa, who is a VIP member. And last week I mentioned that I would like a theme song, that it would be cool to have a theme song, and wouldn't that be fun if so, I had a little theme song music. And when I mentioned that, Charlie is a musician, and he decided, I'll make a song. And he did. He made a cool song, and he sent it to me. He put it on YouTube, and I was just now trying to play it. So with Google Plus, which is the system I'm using for this broadcast right now, I'm supposed to be able to play a YouTube video. And what's supposed to happen is that you can see it, and you can listen and watch the video with me at the same time. Unfortunately, just trying to do it, and it didn't work. Oh well. So let me just check again. I just want to make sure everything's working now, because let me see. Seems like things are working. If on Twitter, if you cannot hear me, please tell me. Let me know on Twitter if you can say yes, I can hear you, or no, I can't. Just let yes or no. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Now I can see you. It's working. Okay, looks like it's working okay. Oh well. It's a shame about the music. I'll have to find a different way to do it. I was just going to play the YouTube video, and instead, goodbye to that. Google Plus gets the big thumbs down for that. Okay, enough of that. Let's get started. All right. First of all, as usual, our code, our mission, our values. I'm ajhoge. This is the Effortless English Show. Let's talk about what is the code of Effortless English. Number 1, we do the best we can. Number 2, we do the right thing. And number 3, we show each other we care. We don't have a lot of rules in Effortless English, just those 3 codes of conduct, just how we treat each other and treat other people for that matter. Our mission: to explore new opportunities for growth, to bring confidence, vitality, and happiness to people all over the world, to boldly go where we have never gone before. That's our mission, our deep mission. The simple mission is help people speak English powerfully. The deeper mission is the one I just mentioned. And finally, our values, the values of Effortless English. Number 1, devotion to the mission. So we're all doing this mission together. It's not just me, it's all of us doing it together. Take that off. Number 2, enthusiasm. We're excited about life. We're excited about learning. We have enthusiasm and passion for life. Number 3, constant and never-ending improvement. Number 4, contribution. We contribute to other people. Number 5, self-reliance. Right? We rely on ourselves. We're as independent as possible. We're independent learners. We solve our own problems. We need help, then we go get help. We take responsibility for our own lives. Number 6, persistence. When something is important to us, we don't quit. We keep going and going and going, and we don't stop. And number 7, positive leadership. We lead by example, by being strong, inspiring examples for other people. All right. Very good. All right, everything seems to be working all right now, so I'll just close this and get back to the show. All right. Well, I'm disappointed about the song. Yeah, I'm really disappointed this didn't work. So on Google Plus here, there's a YouTube app, and it should allow me to share a video and audio with you so that you could see it. And so I had a little title with Charlie's music, and my plan was that at the beginning of the show, you would see the title, Effortless English Show, and you would hear Charlie's music that he wrote and performed. And I've just played it, but when I was listening, it was silent, so I guess you didn't hear Charlie's song, unfortunately. So I'll try to figure out the technology and see if I can find another way to play Charlie's song at the beginning of the show. So now we have the song, now I have to figure out how to use it and get it on to the show so everyone can hear it. All right, let's just go into our next segment, Effortless English News. Effortless English News. What's the news? What's happening in the world of Effortless English? Got some notes here. Oh yeah, the original course, I mentioned that, is almost ready for re-release. The original course was the very first course I ever created. It was recorded in San Francisco in our apartment, our little small apartment in San Francisco, while I was actually still working part-time at a school. And I recorded in my free time. I recorded the original course in the apartment. Um, because I was just recording on my laptop in my apartment, sometimes you can hear some street sounds in the background. You hear the bus going by under our window, but you can still understand the lessons just fine. You can understand my speaking just fine. And in fact, many of the lessons in that original course are very popular. They're some of my most popular lessons, especially ones like Cafe Puccini, for example, is probably the most popular lesson. I'm not even sure why. I always get surprised sometimes by which lessons are most popular. I never know what will be most popular, but I've had many people tell me that the Cafe Puccini lesson in the original course is their favorite. So kind of interesting. I don't know. Anyway, I sold that course for several years at the beginning of Effortless English. That's what started Effortless English. And then I ended up making Power English, and I recorded Power English, the one that's sold on our homepage now. I recorded that course in San Francisco, but in a studio, in a professional studio. And yeah, in my opinion, Power English is a better course overall. I'd learned more. I was a better teacher when I recorded Power English. Certainly the sound quality is better. Uh, and so at that time, I decided to stop selling the original course. Also at that time, we didn't have text transcripts for all of the original course, just for some of it, but not all of it. And transcripts are actually kind of expensive to get made. And I didn't have the money and the time at that point in the past to finish the transcripts for the original course. So we stopped selling that. And just recently I decided let's re-release it because I've had people asking about it. So I got the rest of the audios transcribed. So all of the audios will have text now. And we have put it on our new Effortless English courses website. And it will be ready. It's basically ready now. I'm just going to write some emails and I'll send out some links. But if you would like to get the original course, just be watching your email or watch my Twitter account because I will provide links soon with information about how you can get it. And it's good extra listening and lots of interesting topics. They're less psychological. Power English is a more inspiring course because I was really focused on that when I recorded Power English. The original course has all kinds of topics, many different topics. They're not all inspiring. They're not all motivating. But I think they're interesting. I think they're all quite interesting. Some of them are actually kind of funny, I think. So it's a large variety. And they start off easier than Power English. The first 5 to 7 lesson sets of the original course are fairly easy, actually, fairly easy. What else is going on? What else? Effortless English news. Oh yes. So still making slow progress on the AJ Live course. So that'll be a new course. And that's the video that was recorded in Vietnam during my big event in Vietnam, just this last December. And it's just gonna be it's a little by little process. I've basically edited the video now, but now there are lots of little small details of the film of the video that need to be fixed. We have to, work on the sound, make sure the sound's good, make sure the edits are quite, perfectly right, work with the color of the videos. It's all these little small things that honestly I don't really enjoy doing. In fact, one thing I've learned by making this video is that I enjoy writing, I enjoy directing and shooting videos, I enjoy performing, but and I like doing basic editing, but I don't like doing the post-production stuff. Post-production are like all the little effects and all the little small things after you film in order to make it, come together, in order to make it work. All that stuff, not my favorite. So when we shoot the next film this summer, probably, I will probably I'm actually thinking I need 3 crew that I need to find in San Francisco, probably San Francisco. I need a sound person, someone to record the sound while we're shooting, and also to mix the sound afterwards. I'll need a photographer. In video and filmmaking, that's called a director of photography or a cinematographer. Someone who is a better photographer than I am. And an editor. I'll be looking for an editor as well. Someone who can do I'll be guiding the editing, but someone who can actually do the edits. especially the fine edits and all the effects and the color changing and all the stuff that happens, the computer effects that happen after the movie is shot. And I'm writing it. I'm still writing that film now. That will be a film course. That will be a fiction. It's just going to be a kind of a funny story. And if you want an idea of the kind of funny story it might be, check out on YouTube. There's something called Chad Vader. I'll put it on Twitter right now. Chad Vader. Type this, which is just a silly little internet video series. If you're a Star Wars fan, you'll find it funny. If you're not a Star Wars fan, you probably won't understand the jokes. But it's kind of a funny little thing that some people in the United States did with almost no money. And that's probably the kind of thing that we'll be doing for our first movie or first fiction videos. So that will be, I need to find my crew for the sound, photography, and editor. And I need to, of course, find actors. And I need to finish the script. Then we need to schedule it and shoot it. So there's a lot of work still to do on that. It's a big, big, big project. And once it's all shot finally, then we'll need to edit it. So that won't be till next year that'll be available. So anyway, lots of stuff coming, but these are big projects, so they just take a while. And then finally, the presentations, of course, nothing new, no new news this week. Nothing new has happened, so I'll let you know as that gets closer to. All right. Oh, and the final bit of news, which is a more personal news, is that Tomoe and I will be heading to the United States soon. We are going to, we typically spend time in both the United States and in Japan. And our main residence, our main home is here in Japan, and we have an apartment here. And when we stay in the United States, we get a vacation home. But we'll be staying a few months this next time. We don't have an exact plan right now, but we'll be going to San Francisco first, and then we'll visit my family in Indiana, doing some work. As I said, in San Francisco, I plan to shoot this movie eventually. So we're going to be there probably through the summer, is what we're thinking. So just a couple of weeks, we're heading to America. So I'll probably need to change the time of the Effortless English show. When we get to America, very different time zone. So I'll probably still do it in the evening on Sunday, but it'll be evening in San Francisco time, not evening Japan time. So the times will all change. I'll let you know. But for the next week, at least next week, we'll be doing this at the same time. After that, I'll let you know. Okay. But the good news, when we'll be in America and in San Francisco, by changing the time, I can more easily get some guests. I can probably get Kristen and Joe quite easily. It'll be more easy for me to get my mom or my sister or just other people. So easier for me to get guests once we're in the United States with a little bit different time. All right, let's go to our Effortless English success story. I'll highlight a quick Effortless English success story that I mentioned yesterday in our VIP teleseminar, and that is that Julia, who you met as a guest, got a nice high score on her CLIL test. It's kind of a TOEFL test, and she needed to take this English test in order to teach math. The British say maths with an S, and we say math. Doesn't matter, but basically to teach math in English. Right now she teaches it in Italian, but she wants to teach it in English, and she had to pass this test, and she did very well on the test, and she on our VIP site she wrote all about it and mentioned how she did well even on the grammar parts, even though with Effortless English she never specifically studied grammar. So congratulations to Julia, good job. Always good to hear those success stories. Okay, so I had planned to try to show a video at this point to you, and I'll try one more time. We'll see if I can get it to work, but if not, I'll talk about something else. Let's see if this YouTube thing will work. Come on, man. Everyone sees the same video. So come on, let's see if this works. So I'm going to try playing a video now, and I'll be talking, and you let me know if it's working. Again, on Twitter. Fingers crossed. Come on. Okay, play the current video. Affects everyone. Okay, I want to. Okay, so I'm trying to play a video from my dad, a YouTube video from my dad, a business English video. I just played a little piece of it. If you saw it, if you saw my dad talking, please tell me on Twitter. If you only saw me, also tell me on Twitter. And that will let me know if it's working or not. Can you tell me? Okay, just tell me right now if yes, I saw you, AJ, or I saw your dad. I saw the video. Very frustrating, Google. They provide these, they say they have these functions, but then I don't think they actually do. And it seems like it's not working. It's just silent. It went silent and it's just showing me, right? That's terrible. Gosh, Google. Okay. So did you see my dad? If you saw my dad on the video, please on Twitter say, yes, I saw your dad. Did not work. Could not see. Okay, that's what I thought. All right, enough of that. Not gonna work. That sucks. That sucks. All right. So anyway, let me talk about something else then. Okay. Oh well. So I'd like to talk about something very simple that I realize has had a very strong, very positive effect on my life. And it's a habit that I started, oh wow, so many years ago. Oh, 1997, something like that. I think I started doing it. And this was a time in my life where I was not happy. It was a really tough time, really kind of stressful, bad time in my life. And at the time when I started doing this habit, I did not immediately notice a big difference. It did not suddenly change my life and everything was fantastic. But when I look back now over all those years since then, doing this habit every day, almost every day, probably 99% of the days I do this habit, it's become an addiction really. Uh, I realized that over this long period of time, this habit has had a very powerful positive effect on my life. This habit helped to create effortless English. This habit got me to travel the world. This habit got me to try all kinds of interesting adventures like living in my car, living in my van. This habit continues to open me up to new learning, new creativity, new ideas, new changes. This habit has helped me achieve many, many, many goals and to figure out my mission in life. It's one of the most powerful habits in my life, I realize. And what is this habit I'm talking about? What am I talking about? I'm talking about journaling. Journaling. Journaling just means writing. Now, some people call this, having a diary. Here's my current journal. I fill one journal like this in about a month. So this journal, in 1 month, boom, it'll be full, and I'll get the next one. So I just buy there, just empty pages. Now, if I'm in a really creative mood or have a lot to think about, I might fill this in 2 weeks. Just recently, I filled one of these in 2 weeks because, I don't know, I just had a lot of ideas coming to me. So this is a powerful thing. And so what I do is every day I write in this journal. Every single day. It's kind of a ritual. And as part of my ritual, my habit of writing in my journal, uh, it's a ritual, meaning there are all these little parts to it that I repeat every single day. And basically, it's what I do usually in the mornings, where I get up and I go to a coffee shop and get some coffee. At times in my life where I was trying to stop drinking coffee, I would get tea. Basically, though, I'd go to a little cafe, my pen, always handwriting, never type, my journal, and then I just think and write. Now, there's some principles to this and to journaling that make it powerful and strong. And there's a difference between journaling and writing a diary. And this is an important difference as well. Writing a diary basically means that you're just writing about the events of your life. That's what a diary usually is, right? Oh my, usually you might write about, what happened yesterday or what you did today. That's writing a diary. Um, oh, there's an ambulance outside again. Oh my God, the noise here sometimes. It's worse than San Francisco. All right, the ambulance is gone. So, a diary, sometimes kids have diaries, or sometimes people keep diaries. And in a diary, you're writing down what you did. It's just kind of it's a record of the events of your life. I did this, I did this, I did this. And I don't know, I guess that could be somewhat useful, but it's not really very powerful. And that's not what I do, and that's not what a journal is. A journal is different. A journal is focused on the most important things in your life. And it's more focused on your goals, your mission, your purpose in life, your values, what you most want in life, what's most important to you. And what you do is every day you sit down somewhere. You can make your own ritual. You can go to a coffee shop like I do. You could go outside. You could do it in your bedroom. It doesn't matter. But just kind of make it a repeated thing you do every single day. And you just start writing about what's most important to you. And you let those ideas come out. And then the next day you do it again. And the next day you do it again. Now, for the first month or several months, you won't notice much difference, except that you might start getting a little more clear about what's most important to you in life. And then eventually, you keep writing, maybe start making goals and writing your goals. And then writing down your ideas and your plans, how you'll achieve those goals. And then thinking, and then writing down uh, an assessment. How well you're achieving those goals. Are you achieving the goals or not? How's it going? What's working? What's not working? Constantly focusing. And the reason that journal is so powerful is because it builds a habit of every day focusing your mind on the most important things. Because it's very easy in life to get distracted by things that are less important. It's very easy to get busy with work and jobs and family and tasks and all these things and kind of forget about the most important things, your biggest dreams, your biggest goals, your most important values. And by writing in your journal every day and focusing on those things, it keeps you anchored. It keeps you connected to your dreams in life, to those big dreams, those big goals, the big purpose. If you don't quite know what your big purpose is, it helps you to start figuring it out. And that might take several years. It took me several years. It's okay. But you get closer and closer and closer because you build a daily habit of thinking about it. Daily habit of thinking about your dreams. Daily habit of thinking about your purpose and your mission in life. A daily habit of thinking about your biggest goals. And then your smaller goals, and then the smaller goals under those, and how you're going to achieve your little small goals, and then the bigger ones, and then the bigger ones, and then that big, big dream. And then what are you going to do after you achieve the big dream? And that's what it does. That is the power of a journal. And it builds, the power of that journal writing builds each year, year by year by year. Just by doing it every single day, your mind gets more and more and more and more focused on your dreams and your goals, and you start to achieve them. And when you achieve them, then you start dreaming bigger, and then you start getting those dreams, and then you start dreaming bigger. And you also go deeper. You find what's important to you. And you think you figured it out, and then you keep writing and writing every day, and you realize, okay, no, there's something else that's even more important. And you keep writing and writing and writing every day and thinking about these big questions, and then you find something even deeper and more important. And then that's how you get down and find that your most important values and the most important things to you in life. So this is a super powerful and very simple habit to build. And when you write your journal each day, you can write in English if you want, or you can write in your own language. It doesn't matter. But don't just write a diary. Today I went to the store and then I saw a movie. That's not very powerful or useful. What's much more powerful is you ask yourself questions like, what's most important to me? What are my biggest dreams in life? When will I achieve those dreams and how? What are my most important values? What is my mission and purpose in life? How can I achieve that mission and purpose? Who are the most important people to me in my life? And why? And how can I serve them and contribute to them better? Those are the kind of questions you ask yourself and then you write about it. Whatever comes in your mind, you write. And you keep asking yourself those same questions again and again and again and again, day after day after day, and writing what comes to your mind, and you get clearer and clearer. It's a powerful process, but it's one that is very gradual, that requires daily, habitual use. You must do it again and again and again over many years. I highly encourage you to do this habit, to start journaling, because it will change your life. I promise you, this will totally change your life over time. So that's my little free lesson for the day, since my video didn't work. YouTube. All right, so let's go to our next segment, which is your favorite and mine. Question time. It's question time, where I answer your questions from Twitter. Let's pull up Twitter. All right. Twitter question time. So on Twitter, here's how it works. Ask me anything you want. You can ask me about English. You can ask me whatever. And generally, try to ask me interesting questions. They could be funny. They could be interesting. They could be meaningful and deep. It doesn't matter, but ask something interesting. I cannot answer every single question because they come in too fast, but I'll do my best. So let's see what we got coming in here. Okay, this is a very practical question from Barbel, who was our guest, 2 weeks ago, I guess? 3 weeks ago? But it's an important question. She said, I bought the original course way back in 2008. Has anything changed so that I should buy the lessons again? No. If you already bought the original course, don't buy it again. There's really no need. We're not changing it. We're re-releasing it. It's kind of like, when bands, like a band has a great album, and then 10 years later, they release it again. Maybe they fix the sound a little bit, or they do a few little things, but it's still basically the same album. It's the same idea. So we're bringing it back again. I've added some text and we've made some little changes so that it's better, but it's still basically the same course. So don't buy it twice. No need. But if you never bought the original course, definitely buy it. I think you'll enjoy it. And I think anyone who has it can get on Twitter and give their opinion about it, but most people really like it. From our good friend Sri in Indonesia, she says, "Is this a live teleseminar?" Well, it's not a teleseminar. This is just a live video. I don't know what we call it. It's called a Hangout. I'm using Google Plus. Google Plus calls this a Hangout. It's just basically a little video show that I'm doing every week for free for everybody. The teleseminars we do are only for VIP members, and that's where VIP members actually can talk to me. So they call on Skype and we chat about different topics, and we already did that. But this is just something I do for everybody. So yeah, and also hi Shri, nice to see you. Hope to see you in Indonesia again. All right, questions are coming now. Okay, what is the best way? Okay, Ty Rodriguez asks, what is the best way to learn slang and idioms? I think Learn Real English is a good place to start. The Learn Real English course, so learnrealenglish.com. That Learn Real English is focused on idioms and slang, so you'll learn a bunch of them in that course. And then beyond that, I'd say movies are good. Modern day movies are also quite good for learning idioms and slang. So Learn Real English and movies. Okay, let's see. What do we got? Let's see, where's that? Okay, I'll have to check this later. Why are you so amazing, teacher? Haha. I don't know. Many years of practice. Thank you. I have amazing students. For one thing, I'm picky about who I teach. That makes my job a lot easier. Okay, let's see. Maya Glasher asks, do I really have to watch the business videos, which I receive in my email? You don't have to watch anything. You can do whatever you want to do. We just, provide these things for your interests. If you're not interested in them, you don't have to watch them. It's up to you. Especially any of the free emails and videos that we send out, or this show, for example. It's just for your choice. If you're not interested in business English, then you certainly don't need to listen to business English videos. If you are interested in business English, they're great to watch. So, up to you. All right. Let's see. What else we got here? Ghana 210 says, "What do you think about law English? How do I learn English with law?" Ugh, that doesn't sound fun. Well, here's what I say. There's a technical term for this that um, English teachers use. They call this, English for special purposes. It basically means, some very specific job, usually, or industry that has its own vocabulary. Law is one example. Accounting might be an example. Um, Physics could be an example. And so this question is basically, how do you learn this special language? First of all, you need to realize that a lot of it is vocabulary. Mostly it's just learning the different vocabulary used in law. Lawyers will say things in a different way than we normally do in everyday speech. The first thing you need to do is just to improve your regular English, your normal conversational English. Make that really good. Focus on that first. Once you are really good at speaking and you can write well and read well and speak well and understand well, normal conversational English, then focus on law. And you'll mostly do that by reading and studying law. You'll do it by studying law books and reading law books. Doesn't sound terribly exciting, but that's basically the best way to do it. But don't do it backwards. See, sometimes people, they start focusing on the one specific thing first. Like, I'll focus on law before they're good at regular conversational English. And then they find the law English very, very difficult. Well, it's because you need the basis first. You first need that normal conversational regular English. You need to be very good at that first. Then on top of that, you add some specialized English if you need to, for law or accounting or whatever it is you're doing. So, all right, what do we got? Oh, questions are still coming in. Alraji 13. Would you please recommend a good business book to improve my writing? No, I can't recommend a business book. I would recommend reading novels. Yeah, learn to write well. This is kind of the same answer I just gave, really, in a way. Learn just to generally write well, not for business, not for any specific purpose, just to generally write well, to write a blog post well, to write an article well, to write a letter or an email to someone well. Just learn to write decently well. How do you do that? First, you need to read a lot of good writing. That means novels, English language novels. Start with very easy ones, like for children. That could, if your level is low, it might be something super easy, like Dr. Seuss books, which are super, super easy. But then eventually you go up to something like the Hardy Boys or Nancy Drew or Goosebumps. Those are books for young native speakers, Americans, Canadians, whatever, elementary school level. And then read a lot of those books. Those are series of books, the Hardy Boys series, the Nancy Drew series, the Goosebumps series. They have 20 or 30 or more books in each of those series. Read them all. Then after that, you might read comic books if you like comic books, especially graphic novels that have more words. It's just lots of pictures. You're not really practicing your reading very much. So more words, certainly better. And then you go to something a little more difficult and more difficult. And eventually you're reading regular novels for adults. That might be something like Stephen King if you like kind of scary stuff. It might be like Danielle Steele or the Shopaholic books or something like that if you like romance. It could be Game of Thrones, the books that it's based on. I can't remember the names of all those books. There's a bunch of them that the show, the TV show, the HBO show is based on. You could read that if you like fantasy. If you like science fiction, it might be something like Ender's Game or whatever. There's tons of them, right? So read until you're reading like regular novels really well. You don't need a dictionary. Just reading without a dictionary. Read as much as you can. That is the best thing you can do to improve your writing. Your writing will very naturally improve the more you read novels like that. Now, in addition, if you would like to practice your writing at the same time, I recommend starting a blog. Get a WordPress blog. They're free. And every day, write a paragraph. Just start by writing paragraphs. You don't need to write anything long. And you can write a blog about anything you're interested in. It might be a diary about what you're doing. If you have a hobby, you could write about that. If you like cooking, you could write every day, you could write one paragraph about cooking. If you like sports, you could write about sports. If you like movies, you could review movies. Doesn't matter, but write a blog and have the habit of every day you write a paragraph. So you're reading all these novels and you're writing at the same time each day. And those two things will really help you a lot. You'll become uh, a good writer that way by doing that practice. It'll take several months doing that. It's going to take time, but writing is probably the most difficult skill to develop. But you will get better and you'll become good. And then once you can do that, writing for business is really no different. It's then if you want to write a business letter, it's simple. It's you don't need to really have some special course to learn how to write for business. In fact, business people really need to, most business people, including native speakers, really need to take courses to learn how to write well. So don't copy business people, copy writers, copy novel writers. They're the professionals who get paid lots of money to write books. You could read some business books too if you enjoy business books. Okay, more Twitter questions. What do we got? I'll answer this one, even though Bearbell's already asked a question because it's just a passion of mine. She says, Bearbell again, do you think homeschooling is the best education method? Absolutely, yes, I do. I believe homeschooling is about 100,000 million times better than any public school, well, or private school for that matter, than any school. Simply because a parent, a mom or a dad or both, will always, always, always care more about their own child than some paid employee. So I don't care how good the school supposedly is that you send a child to, they don't care about your child as much as you do. Therefore, they will not give them the same amount of attention, they will not help them as much, and they will not teach them as well. So yeah, and there's lots of, there've been lots of research studies about homeschoolers, and they do better. They learn faster, they perform better in almost everything. So, and it's just nice. You get to be around your own kids instead of sending them off to some government bureaucrat employee. I don't like schools very much. So yeah, homeschooling, rock on. Yes, do it if you can do it. Okay, what else do we got here? Oh, Maya Glasser says, last week you mentioned that Tomoe will say hi today. Is she ready now? Sadly, no. She tricked you. Tomoe's not here at all. She went to her family's this weekend, so she is visiting her mom and dad and sisters and nephew. And I'm joining them tomorrow, actually. So they are in Osaka. I'm in Kyoto. They're in Osaka, which is about, where they are is about an hour, 20 minutes away. So I'm here alone tonight, and I'll go join the family tomorrow and see my little nephew, Masanori, who's a little monkey. She's over there now. So sorry, you'll I'll get her onto the video eventually. I've put pictures, I think, on my Facebook. If you don't know what she looks like, she's on my Facebook page somewhere, I think, the Effortless English page. Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Now see, here we go. Here's a fun question from Mishoff. Hey, Alexander. Um, he says, what is your most crazy and funniest English experiment in teaching English? I've done some crazy ones. I think one of the ones that pops to my mind was when I was first starting to learn this storytelling technique, the mini story technique, the asking a story. And I was learning from a guy named Blaine Ray, a technique called TPRS. But so I read his book and I thought, oh, that's cool. Learn, teach English with stories. And I was teaching at a university in Japan at the time. And I thought, oh, I'll try this technique. But I didn't really understand how the technique worked. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand how you ask the questions. I didn't know how you use the stories to kind of secretly teach the grammar and the vocabulary. I didn't know how to use actions to teach the vocabulary. I really didn't know the technique at all. So all I thought was you just tell crazy stories. So I remember the first time I went up in front of these Japanese university students, and I just went crazy. I was running around the front of the class telling this crazy story about this baby who's a samurai and fighting ninjas, and I'm running around screaming and pretending to be a samurai, and their eyes are like this big, and they're laughing and kind of shocked at the same time, like, what the hell is happening? Who is this crazy teacher, and what is he doing? And now I realize, I didn't understand the technique, and I was not really teaching them English, but I certainly entertained them because they they thought they had gotten the super crazy American who lost his mind. So yeah. Okay. So anyway, that was one of my crazier experiments with teaching English. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay. Oh, effortless English award sketch. Let's take a look. What's this? Ah, nice. Massimo sent a little picture of the Effortless English Awards. Very nice. We should do it. We should have an award show. Where should we have it? We could have it in Italy. That would be nice. In Rome. How about Rome? Right, and we'll have like a movie premiere, and we could have the red carpet and the photographers, and we could all come in one by one, and we could give out the best, most improved this year, the most passionate Effortless English member. Could be fun. Someday when we're bigger and have tons of money to use, we'll rent out some big place and we'll do it. In the meantime, maybe we could do something fun like that just online. So, good idea. Why not? Okay, let's keep going. Keep the questions coming. How are we doing on time? Okay, we got time for a few more. Okay. Luis Ottaviochi, I think. Twitter says, I think plateaus is one of the most important lessons of Power English because you realize that being persistent is the key, even when it seems not to be working. Yeah, that's a good point. It's kind of the same thing I was talking about with like journaling. Now, I journal. For me, it's a very pleasurable experience. In fact, it's an addiction now. If I don't have time to someday, to write in my journal and really take that time for myself to just think and focus on what's important, I get kind of irritable. I don't like it. It's a positive addiction for me, and I kind of need that time. That's my alone time where I can just think and focus on my life and sit with some coffee and uh, but the benefits of that have come through persistence from doing it again and again and again and again every single day for years. And there are some things which are the same way. English is one of those things. Um, from one day to the next day, you probably will not see a big improvement in your English in 24 hours. It's almost never happens, right? In just 24 hours, suddenly you're speaking much better. So it can be tough sometimes because you might go for 2 months or 3 months or 6 months feeling like you're not improving very much, right? It's not just English. This happens with musicians. This happens with athletes, with in different sports, where they make an improvement and then suddenly they hit a plateau. They hit where they just feel like it's flat. They're not getting better. They're practicing. They're still practicing, and nothing seems to be happening. And that can be a very frustrating thing. It's a normal part of learning any skill, but it is frustrating for a while until you learn to just be patient and enjoy the process of learning. Enjoy the process of practicing every day. So it is important. It's a lesson. It took me a long time to learn it. I'm not a patient person. Um, so it's taken me a long time to finally understand this so that when I reach a plateau, that I just keep going anyway. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And then I know eventually it will jump up again. But instead of focusing on when's it going to jump up, when's it going to jump up, and making myself crazy and unhappy and impatient, I've learned to just focus on enjoying the practice each day and then let the results come. That's what happens. That's happened in many things in my life, and it's powerful. It takes time, but learn that patience. All right, let's see what else we got. Here's an interesting question from Yevgeny E. Hi, AJ. Why do black people sound different than white people in the United States, I assume? Um, I'm trying to think of how complicated I want to give my answer. The simple answer is that they're different cultures, and it's not all black people. So it really depends on the which black person you're talking about. A black person raised in a in a certain neighborhood around. Like, I'll give you an example. When I was like sixth, seventh grade, no, fourth, fifth, sixth grade, I lived in the Washington D.C. area in this just typical middle class neighborhood, and it was probably about half black and half white. Half my friends were black, half were white, and there was no difference in accent. We all spoke the same. We had a same kind of neutral, slightly southern American accent. Why? Because we're all in the same neighborhood, basically the same or similar culture, similar economic background, and everybody was middle class, same levels of education, all of that. So Therefore, our accents were basically the same. However, in the United States, large number of black people live in different neighborhoods where they're separated away and from, you know, the majority of white people. And again, white people don't all speak the same either. You know, it depends. Is it a white person from New York speaks very differently than me or than a white person from the deep South. So it's not really a racial issue, but you'll notice it just because, um, yeah, there is a certain kind of African American black culture in the United States. So even black people who are raised in a say like a neighborhood where I grew up, they might, because they're watching certain black movies, they're listening to certain music, they kind of adopt a certain slang, idioms, a certain rhythm, and even sometimes an accent. So there's it's, this is called a subculture. We have the whole American culture. A subculture is like a small culture inside of that. There are many subcultures. Like there are a lot of Mexican immigrants in the United States. Well, that Mexican immigrant, that's a subculture. It's part of the American culture, but it's a separate little part. It's not the whole thing. So there's different subcultures, and many of these subcultures can have somewhat different accents. So, but again, don't assume that just because you meet a black person that they're going to speak that way. Because another thing is that this another common thing with that you might find with many black people in the United States, that if they're talking to their family and their friends in a very, very casual way, they might speak like a black person, what you're thinking about, what you see in movies. But if they go to their job, if they have a professional job and they're going and they're working in a business, they're not going to talk that way in the business. They're going to talk, in a kind of very standard way. So, yeah, that's my. I could give a long, complicated historical answer, but that's the short answer. Okay, more questions. Let me get some water first. 1 second. We have 2 questions related to business, so I'll combine them. One from, again, Ghana 210. How can I start my own little business? What about your business success stories? And then another one from Shri. What commitment do you have to make your business grow? So good questions, both about business growth. First, let me talk about my own personal. My commitment is, yes, certainly to grow Effortless English. This is another benefit of journaling. I've thought over the last several years, Effortless English is, how old is Effortless English? 7 years old now, a little over 7 years old. And during that time, I've thought again and again and again, what kind of business do I want to create? I want it to grow, but how much do I want it to grow? I've thought and thought and thought. I have a pretty clear idea of what I want now, what my vision is for Effortless English. I do want Effortless English to grow more because I want to reach more people. I want to spread our mission to the world. I would like to grow our VIP program. But I don't want to grow infinitely, not forever. I have no interest in being a billionaire, and I have no interest in running a company with hundreds of employees. It's not my life. I don't want that. I want to keep Effortless English fairly small and personal. I want it to be personal. If a business gets too large, it's not personal anymore, right? Then I'm just going to be sitting in some office in a big building and then telling people what to do and not really connecting with you guys. And that's not for me. I don't want that. And I don't need $1 billion. I'm making good money already. I'm doing just fine. So yes, I would like to grow Effortless English. I'd like to see Effortless English grow by about 5 times its current size. So multiply times 5. And also learn real English times 5. That's my current goal. And what are my plans for that? My plans for that now are just to do a great job and for you to grow Effortless English. Meaning I have decided I'm not spending more money on advertising. We do advertise, but I'm not going to increase that amount because I want to get new people from you. I want you to recommend Effortless English to your friends and your family. I want you to be super excited about Effortless English and, get new courses and join the VIP program. And I want you to be so excited that you tell lots and lots of people and that you write about Effortless English on Twitter and your Facebook. And that's how we grow. We grow by being fantastic. We grow by being great. We grow by being interesting and fun. We grow because of our mission. That's how I want to grow Effortless English. That will take longer, certainly. But I think it's a stronger way to grow. It will attract the kind of people I want. I don't want have a big company and then have attract a lot of people who are not positive. We have a great community right now. I want to continue attracting people like you. So that's my plan. As for someone starting their own business, it's a huge general question because it depends on the kind of business, of course. But my short advice is to start a prototype business. A prototype is kind of a practice, right? For example, when designing a car company, let's say Toyota wants to make a new fast car. Well, they don't just suddenly just build it, hundreds and hundreds of them. What do? They design one and they build one. It's called the prototype. It's kind of the model, the first model. And then they have the prototype, the first one, and they drive it and they see, oh, something's not working. Let's fix this. Oh, this is not working. Let's fix that. Oh, this is really great. This is good. We'll keep this. Right? They use that prototype to learn. And then eventually they improve it, improve it, improve it. And when they are happy with it, then they start making lots of them. We can do the same thing with a business. Instead of trying to start some huge business, start something very small, part-time while you're still working or still a student. Just something very, very small, just so you can start learning more about business, more about marketing, more about your business, whatever it is. Each business is a little bit different. And you can make mistakes, but when you make mistakes with a small business, not so painful. Maybe you lose a little money instead of all your savings, right? So I did this. This happened. I did it very quickly with Effortless English. I started it with just like $200 or something for a little website, and it all started very, very simple and very, very cheaply. And then I was constantly improving it, fixing it, trying different things, and then luckily it did grow quite quickly for me. It might grow quickly, it might not, it might grow slowly, doesn't matter. But just start something small and cheap and use it to learn and then grow it by improving little by little by little. That's my best advice if you want to start a business. Okay. All right. ZD, I guess, two more questions. Yeah, a couple more. ZD Usel says, AJ, you're always positive and energetic. It's wonderful. How can you do that? How can I do that? I don't know. Practice. First of all, I'm not always energetic. I get tired like everybody else. But I think the key thing I've learned is that I can make myself energetic when I want to be or when I need to be. That's the key thing. I mean, can you always be energetic every single minute of the day? Maybe, but it's actually even not necessary, and it's not even enjoyable. I like quiet time. As I mentioned, I like to, especially like in the morning, I like to sit down. One of my favorite things in life is to sit down in a coffee shop and just write in my journal and think or read a book. I love doing that. Those are quiet activities that are not energetic. They're kind of low energy, very relaxed. And I like those things. It gives me a balance. But the key things, there are times in life where you need to be powerful and energetic and really positive, right? Like right now, I'm talking to you. I know there are lots of people, thousands and thousands of people watch this show, either live or on YouTube later. I can't remember, 10, 20, 30,000 people. We have 50,000 YouTube subscribers. So I know this is going out to all these people. I don't want to just be boring and tired when I talk to you, right? So I've learned how to, change my emotions, make myself powerful and strong and confident and energetic. That's the thing, is you can control this. You can learn how to do it, turn it on when you need it. Another great example is giving a public speech, right? A presentation. You'll actually see this when the course comes out, the AJ Live course. You'll see me doing this on the video because we shot this. I was backstage, and it kind of shows me before the event, people are coming in, 3,000 people coming in. Energy's going up. And for a while, I'm just sitting backstage, very relaxed, just sitting in a chair, not doing anything, very relaxed. And then I have a timing, and I know about 30 minutes before the event, you'll see me. I just energize myself. I do certain moves. I've created a kind of practice so that I know how to exactly get myself energetic again, anytime I want. I use music, I use certain actions, I use my body, I use exercise, all these types of things. So when I need it, it's there, I can do it. And you can do this too. Okay. Maya Glasher, it's a personal question. Why not about my family? Maya Glasher 1, how many brothers and sisters do you have? I have one sister, a younger sister. And she has 3 children and is trying to adopt a fourth child. So lots of uh, lots of little kitties for my sister. All right. Another question about family. Ghana 210 again. What are your roots, your nationality, your grandfather, mother, etc.? Where they all come from? Okay, well, as far as I know, so my grandmother, my dad's mom, actually researched all of this about our family, about my dad's family, the history going way, 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 way back. And first of all, the Hogue family, like my dad's family, they're very American, meaning they came to America quite early in the history of the United States, like all the way back, like around the Revolutionary War. So right from the beginning of the founding of America. So I can definitely say I'm American, many generations of American. Prior to that, the family was Danish, Denmark, from Denmark, and Scottish and Danish. And then on my mom's side, German, Danish, and some Scottish. But even if you go back before the Scottish, then it also goes back to Denmark again. So kind of Scandinavian, I guess. Okay. But anyway, all that was many, 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 many generations ago. I have no family that I actually my great grandmother was Danish. My grandmother's mom came over from Denmark. Other than that, all the family for many generations back were born and raised in America. Hmm. Okay, Bavkim20 says, I bought your course. My speaking has improved a lot. My English has improved a lot, but I'm not good in writing, and I make spelling mistakes. Well, again, same advice I gave recent about the business writing. Same thing. Read novels. Novels, 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 novels. Read lots of novels, and write a blog, too. So that's my best writing advice. All right. I will a couple more if I see some interesting ones. Hmm. Barbell, oh yeah, can you imagine any new technology that will enable us to immediately translate speaking? Oh, I'm sure it will happen. I'm sure it will. A little translator like in Star Trek, like the automatic translator, someone speaks and translates to you. Um, they're already trying to do this with writing, with Google's trying to do this and others. Uh, it does an okay job. It's not very good right now, but I'm sure it will get better and better. So, yeah, eventually. So, I gotta watch out. Don't want them taking my job. That's why I have multiple careers. All you VIP members, you'll know this. I gotta stay ahead, stay ahead of the technology. Um, Gloria Semana asks, do you see any problems studying 2 languages at the same time? No, not really. It just means you'll go half as fast in each language. That's all. So if you study English and Chinese, obviously you have a certain number of hours per day you can listen to a language, a foreign language. Let's say you have 4 hours per day. You're super motivated. And 4 hours per day, you're going to listen to a language. Well, if you listen to English 4 hours per day, you'll learn quite quickly, improve quite quickly. However, if you listen to English 2 hours per day and Chinese 2 hours per day, you'll improve less quickly in English. But of course, then you'll also be learning Chinese. So just up to you. There's no right answer or wrong answer. It's just how much do you want to split your time? But I don't think there's a big problem with it. Try it. Try it and see. Okay, Inchi says, can you say hello? Hi, Inchi. How are you? All right. Let's see. Any more questions, or are we about done? I think we're almost done. Yeah, it's after 11 here. All right. One more check of the questions. Now's your last chance to ask questions, and then we're done for now. Next week, let me check my calendar. Let's see when we're flying. Yeah, there's only, ooh, wow. Oh my God, we're leaving soon. Um, we'll do a show next week, next Sunday, same time. And then after that, we'll be in San Francisco. So I'll have to let you know about that. Next week, we'll talk about time. I'm always jet lagged for the first week when I go from Japan to the United States. So I have no idea when I'll be waking up and when I'll be sleeping. We may even skip that week. That would be the 23rd of February. I'm not sure if I'll skip it or not, but I'll probably decide that at the last minute. I'll probably wait until like the 22nd or something, see how I feel, and then I'll decide if I'm going to do a show on the 23rd and what time. So I think by March 2nd, I should be sleeping just fine, and we'll be doing shows from San Francisco at that point, and I'll let you know the time period. The time zone will change, so that still on Sundays, but I'll figure out the time. I might do it in the mornings if that works better, like late morning, or I might do it in the evenings. I just need to check all the time zones and see. Yeah. All right, the last question goes to Ghana 210. What is your nickname? AJ is my nickname. That's not my full name. AJ is my nickname. Just an abbreviation. Yeah, so I don't have any other nickname. No other nickname, just that. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Let's see. Let's just close. I like to close with, first of all, to just summarize all the courses and how do you keep improving, because people are constantly asking me about that. I guess it's a little confusing. So the first course people start with usually is the email course, free email course, the 7 Rules course. On our website, on the menu, it says newsletter. Click that. Most of you probably already are getting that email course, but if not, it's free, and just sign up. You can also sign up on effortlessenglishclub.com/7rules. That's the actual page. Next, the next step for most people is to get one of the courses. And usually right now that Power English would be the best one to start with. That's sold on the homepage, effortlessenglishclub.com. Soon the original course will be ready, so that's another option. I still would recommend Power English as the one to start with, probably as the first choice, but you could combine them if you like. You could get Power English and the original course together and mix them, do them both at the same time, whatever you like. They go together just fine. And then finally, the VIP program, which is really for the most motivated people. It's not for everyone, honestly. It's for people who really are motivated, first of all, to speak English powerfully, and also to be a leader, people who really believe in our mission and want to live that mission and learn how to have that mission and those values in their own life. So in the VIP program, we're working not only on English, but really just improving our finances, improving our life, improving our emotions, improving our happiness, improving everything. So if you're really motivated, add the VIP program. In addition to all this, we also have Learn Real English. That's for casual English, idioms and slang and things like that. Tends to be a little bit more difficult than Power English for most people. Most people find it more difficult. Simply, it's not really more difficult, but the reason it's more difficult is most people learn school English. And this casual English is very different than textbook English. It's even different from, what you hear on the news or anything like that. So Learn Real English is a nice step, also a nice addition to Power English. They go together quite well. And then if you're interested in business English, when you want to learn business English, then Business English Conversations, with an S, conversations.com. And that's my father and I teaching about business ideas to help your career, all those kind of things. So if you're interested in business English, you can add that as well. And we'll have more courses coming. As I mentioned, I'm working the presentations course, so how to give a good speech, a good presentation. That course, it's almost ready. I'm just waiting for the web designer. Story of my life, waiting for a web designer to finish their job, but it'll be available soon. And then other new courses coming. I mentioned AJ Live, and then even later a film course. Anyway, more is coming, but those are the good ones to start with. Start with Power English and VIP. Start with Learn Real English. Good places to begin. So as always, just follow our code in Effortless English on Twitter, in your life. Do the best you can. It means you might make a mistake sometimes. It means you're not perfect. Just keep trying, making that effort to do your best. Do the right thing. Treat other people respectfully and nicely. Be as honest as you can be. Be a good person. Show other people you care. It means actively say nice things to people. If someone does something good, tell them. If someone has a success, congratulate them. Show that you care. If someone's having a tough time, help them out. Be nice to them. Quite simple. And our mission to explore new opportunities for growth, to bring confidence, vitality, and happiness to people all over the world, to boldly go where we have never gone before. All right. Please do your best. Help spread this mission. As I mentioned, we only grow because of you. So get on Twitter and tweet about Effortless English, or on Facebook if you like. And attract people. If you're going to recommend Effortless English to someone, if you want to kind of help people find it, focus on people who are positive. People in your life who are positive, who you think would fit our mission and our code. Sometimes we have people in our life who can be kind of negative, and we may still love them, but we should recognize that they're negative, and those people are not the ones to invite to Effortless English. If they're ready for a change, yes, but if they're not ready for a change, no. Focus on those positive people, those energetic people, those enthusiastic people, the people who are still excited about learning and life and success and happiness and all these things. Those are the people we want to attract and to bring into our Effortless English family. All right, thank you, Effortless English crew. I will see you again next time. Next week will be the last one from Kyoto, Japan for a while. So until then, have a great week and see you then. Bye for now.